Hello traders, welcome to a new trading day. My name is Somi Aviagbo from Greenwave Exchange, and today is Tuesday, 10th of May 2022. Today so far we've been seeing important change in sentiment. So in the past 2 weeks we've seen massive risk off sentiment, but today so far, especially from the Asian session today, we've seen a kind of reversal, kind of make price. The markets are making some corrective moves all across board. So the volatility index is still testing this key upper boundary, which is a sign, or let me say a signal, okay, for risk on sentiment. So we might actually see a change in sentiment this week. I think we could actually get that, but let's see what happens if the volatility index does not really push above here. All right. So on the US 10-year bond yield as well, we've seen this big move downward, which is also a sign of risk on sentiment so far today, which means the US 500 and the other stock indices are expected to push upwards. Okay, but so far we've not really seen any kind of technically we've not really seen any sort of reversal signal here so far. So maybe we just have to wait a little bit to see whether wait for a break above this trend line or wait for price to come down here. Maybe we could see maybe some wedge pattern here, and then we wait for price to break above the wedge pattern, and then start looking at further move to the upside, a kind of maybe complete reversal or at least a three-wave bounce up to 4,300. That's very likely for the S&P 500 if we're able to see that change in sentiment. But we just have to be very careful about this. The market is still very much bearish until we see some reversal signal, head and shoulder, diagonal pattern, that's the wedge, maybe double bottom, double triple bottom, and all those kind of patterns. You're able to see that, then we might see at least a three-wave bounce, okay, to 4,300. And dollar index is actually the reverse is the case for the dollar index. We've seen it struggling around here, and so after price made this important dip to 102.35, we saw it push to 104, but since then it's not really been able to push above the zone. This is a very big price zone. Okay, if you go to the hourly daily time frame, you're gonna see it there. And so here we are kind of seeing maybe a wedge pattern coming up. Okay, so if the price, which means that price can actually still make one more move here before it drops downwards. All right, so if that happens, price makes one more move before it breaks here, then I think we can actually see at least a three-wave dip back to this trend line here, so to 102.35, and maybe even deeper to 100.97. so depending on how serious the change in sentiment is. Okay, so that's it for the dollar. So which means if that happens, then we should be able to see the majors gaining some strength against the dollar at some point this week. Like the euro US dollar is giving us some sideways move here, which looks like a triangle pattern. All right, looks like a triangle pattern, and so there are two ways to this triangle pattern. It depends on where the price breaks. So if the price breaks upwards, we might see one more leg to this place to 1.05, and then if we're able to see a break upwards above this upper line, then I think that can be a further rally to 1.07, okay, for the euro dollar. So maybe we should look at the lower time frame. Okay, so that's it. So the first scenario is we're looking at a fourth wave correction here. So we have the first leg, and then the second leg seems to be giving us a triangle pattern. So if that happens, and then a break above here, it's going to it's going to lead to further rallies to 1.07, and then this, buyers can take advantage of it. So we are looking to buy, maybe wait for one more leg here and wait for price to break upwards there. Okay, but on the other hand, it also looks likely that what we are having here is a bearish triangle. All right, something like this. Then we can say that the fourth wave is here, and then if there's a break downwards below 1.05, then we should see further decline to 1.04 or maybe 1.035. So those are the two major scenarios I can think of now on the euro dollar, and they are really of very high probability. So let's see what the price, what the dollar is going to do, because this still largely depends on the dollar. And so we have the GBP US dollar, which is still expected to make further corrections to 1.240 or maybe 1.245. This is still very much likely, so we're going to see what happens. But after the correction, maybe whether to this trend line around 1.245 or maybe deeper into this important key zone. So after the correction, further decline is expected. So very straightforward here. Correction and then decline. So we have to see the price give us a very nice pattern, nice corrective pattern before we sell into heat. Okay, in my own opinion. But if you're a scalper, of course, once price breaks above here, maybe you can do some scalping up to 1.245. So it's all left to you. Okay, so that's it about that. And then the dollar yen still looks bullish, but we've currently seen price making this correction back to this zone, just like we talked about in the update yesterday. We're looking at price making correction back to this place. So now it depends on whether price is going to break downwards or is going to get rejected. Okay, there. So we're going to see. Okay, but the scenarios are that if we plot this one here. Okay, if you plot this this line here, connecting these two, and price gets here, and we now see a very big surge to the upside to break above here, then I think we can see further rallies to 132. Okay, for euro US dollar yen. So we can now get maybe this wedge pattern that we're looking at. So looking at this wedge pattern. Okay, up to 132.5, maybe even 133, but we'll have to see. The price will have to show that it's going up. Okay, so if the trend line acts as a support here and price breaks above 130.6, then I think further rally should be expected. But if the price breaks below here, then the next support level to look out for is 128.612. Okay, so a break below there, a break below here now, below this level, is going to actually mean that we are going to see much deeper bearish correction. Okay, that's what I think there. Okay, so let's look at gold. Now gold is trying to make this bullish run, just like we expected on in the yesterday update. So we're looking at price making this ABC correction right here. All right, so it seems to have completed this A move here. Maybe B could happen, and we have to see price break above here, although this correction is really very deep into this place. So I think if we're able to see a break above 118.72, then we could actually see further rallies to this key price zone here. Okay, that's between 1910 and 1920 or thereabout. So we could actually see price go that way if we see a break. So we also have what looks like an head and shoulder here if you look at the lower time frame. And so if that happens here, further rally up to this place, and then a dump from there, most likely. Yeah, that's what I think we could get. But on the other hand, if we don't see a break above here and instead price eventually breaks below 1850, then further decline to 1818 at least, okay, should be expected for gold. All right, so for Bitcoin, it's still very much bearish. Yeah, we're currently getting this good bounce here, like I pointed out in the last update, in the yesterday update on Bitcoin. I discussed that the best way to get into this. Now, buying Bitcoin is not really very much advisable. Price is making a very wide bearish move. So the best way, in my opinion, is to identify bounces and sell bounces like this. Okay, just sell all these bounces here. So that's just like the best way to get into this. So we're currently getting another bounce, which might present another opportunity, okay, for a sell to the first level is 28,800, and then the second level is around 23,000. So I think Bitcoin could get to these levels. So selling the bounces is like the best outcome. Yeah, I mean the best option for Bitcoin. Okay, so so let's look at the US dollar Swizzle. Yeah, the US dollar Swizzle is still very much moving to the upside, and price broke below this trend line, but this is just a very minor break. So it all depends, still really very much depend on what happened with the dollar. So it seems this one is also picking up, maybe some kind of head and shoulder formation. Yeah, could happen. And if the price breaks below the trend line, then maybe we're going to see a touch of 98.30, and of course 9700. So if we're able to see the head and shoulder without the price breaking above 99.65, instead of that price breaks below 0.99, then we should expect further decline on the dollar Swizzle. Okay, and then the New Zealand US dollar is expected to push upwards, so price broke above this trend line. So we've seen this currency plummeted for, I mean, in the last 2 weeks now. But in the Asian session, we saw this nice upsurge, broke above this trend line, price pulled back, and I think we could actually see further rallies to 0.64. Okay, 0.64 at least. And if that get more serious, then we should see further rallies to 65, 67. Okay, where we have this fourth wave here. Okay, so we seems to have had this, I mean, this is the end of the fifth wave, 1 2 3 4 5, and price breaks upwards, so further rally should happen, at least a 3-wave rally to 0.6. So if you're a scalper, you could actually look for some buying scalping chance to 0.64. Okay, but if you're not a scalper, I think we should just wait for what price is going to do. I want to see an impulse wave first. If I'm going to buy New Zealand US dollar on the swing mode, then we should see an impulse move first. Okay, then a corrective move down, and then look for a buying opportunity. Okay, but instead, if the price makes another corrective move, okay, like this, then a sell will be very much ideal. Okay, so I'm going to update you how this goes. So that's it. And then the Aussie dollar is also like that, just like that as well. Same thing applies to the Aussie dollar. So if we're able to see, I mean, we should expect further rallies, I mean, today to around that 70.32 or 70.50. So you could actually scalp up to that level. But on the other hand, if you're going to swing, just like we have for New Zealand, you have 5-wave move up, then 3 corrective down, then you buy. Or if the price makes another corrective move, which means that the bearish trend is not yet over, and then we can then snap that as well to the downside. So those are the scenarios on the Aussie dollar. And then the USD dollar, the USD card is the inverse of that. Price is currently making this move downwards here. So A, B, C. So we can actually see further move downwards to maybe here. So I'm looking at here around 1.2930. Okay, I think the US dollar card can actually go down there. So looking at this very big bearish candles on the hourly time frame, I think it could actually get to there 1.2930. You could also scalp down to that place. Okay, but we'll have to see whether after that we're able to get an impulse, or this is just a correction. If it's a correction, then we should expect further rallies to to 3060, 1.3060 or thereabout. But if it's impulse, that means the move is going to be much faster. Break below here, then we could wait for a bounce, corrective bounce, and then sell into it. So it's very, very clear the plan for USD CAD. And then I'm going to jump to the oil price. So we looked at this oil price yesterday, suggested that if we go to the 4-hour time frame, there's very high likelihood that the US oil will go to around $48, I mean $80 or $75. So the price is currently very much clearly in a bearish phase, which is not yet over. So we have this this first leg here, a zigzag, and then a second leg seems to have completed another zigzag, and that's the second leg actually completed with an ending diagonal, which is a very strong reversal signal. Price broke downwards. So going forward, we might actually see it at around 100%, 74, but modestly 80. So modestly 80. But going forward, if I've not really been able to get a sell here, I think selling the bounce on oil will really be very ideal. yeah, selling the banks on oil will be very, very much ideal. So so that's it. So that's it from me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching this. I'm gonna see you in there in another one. Bye.